Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joseph with Oz Arab Media, and I'd like to welcome you to the program today. Continuing on with our Miss Legacy International series, or as I should say, Legacy International series, we are joined by Miss Legacy International Australia, Precilla Kaur. Precilla, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. Tell us how you became involved with the Legacy International pageant.
Yeah, sure. So I have never done a beauty pageant before ever. The whole kind of passion started from when I was first watching a documentary. And in this documentary, I saw these like little kids who are brought up in an orphanage. And there was a specific scene from that documentary that showcased this like two girls playing at a playground, and the joy that they had in that scene, the way they held each other's hands, playing like Ring of Rosies, and turning around, I felt like it was such a small scene, but it struck out to me so much because I saw how much happiness, how much joy they had from just being with each other, despite having that access to education, that access to a lot of different resources. They're brought up in this orphanage, which may I add, do not really have a lot of access to resources, both education wise and just lifestyle wise. And seeing that small sort of glimpse of joy from their faces just with being with each other, it really struck out to me because here we are in a first world country having, whinging over the most smallest problems, and crying over different things that happen in our personal lives. And over there, they don't have the access to what we are so privileged with, and yet they're so happy with each other, just being with another human being. And that brought out this passion of mine to fill that gap with those communities who don't have that access to quality education, to quality lifestyle. So then I did my research, and I found out about Legacy International. And upon application, I got a call from Laura, the director, and yeah, we spoke. The conversation flowed really well. I really enjoyed talking to her, and then all of a sudden she asked me what my passion was, what I want to do with this title. If I do win, should I win? And from there, I guess with confidence, with a lot of support, with that passion still instilled in me, I continued to really advocate for that. And here I am winning Miss Australia Legacy International.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations on becoming Miss Legacy International Australia.
thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a couple questions now. First thing is, I want to ask, what's the name of this documentary? Because I think lots of people should watch it.
I don't actually know. It's these YouTube videos that I see on YouTube that comes up in my recommendation. So I don't recall it, but I'll definitely get back to you once I find it. It's these random ones with like 30-minute stories, and then people like voicing in front of a camera and then like showing everyone everything. So I don't recall the thing. I normally just watch it without the knowledge of what the documentary is about. It's just more about like my own source of entertainment. But yeah, so yeah, I will get back to you on that.
Quite all right. We'll make sure to put in the comment section of this interview. So you talk about this documentary and how it's had an impact on you. To our viewers who have watched our previous broadcasts in regards to Legacy International, the contestants have had to come up with an idea in a way that can help people, humanitarian ideas. Is that what had an impact on your idea? And tell us a bit more about what you've developed.
Yeah, sure. So it took a lot of research. It took a lot of like brainstorming for me. I don't think there's like one way you can make a change. There's multiple ways, and even the smallest thing could make the biggest change. So for me, I feel like starting out small is definitely the way to go. So starting within my own community, so raising awareness within my own like little state, whether that means to, go to events and making a public appearance, so people start to question what it is that you do, and then from there on you can sort of start to educate and advocate for what you stand for. So for me, for now, it's definitely just to spread awareness through my social media and through my public appearances at the moment. So this month now, it's the 2nd of March. This month I will be making an appearance I'll be volunteering plus making an appearance for the Run for Kids on March 17th, happening at Docklands in Melbourne. So yeah, doing small things like that, volunteering for organisations that really advocate for what I'm passionate about, and then spreading my awareness through that is definitely the first steps into this sort of plan of mine. And then from then on, spreading internationally. So I would like to travel across different countries and start to visit education organizations that really support this. And I want to visit those kids that I've seen on the documentaries, and not even, in the documentaries, just in general, just seeing these different kids from different countries who don't have a source of voice to really stand up an for something that should be a right. I think is definitely my next steps after this. So I'd love to go there and visit them, and alongside me and my family, I'd love to bring some small like education packs and start to develop those so I can give out to the kids internationally. So starting something as small as within my community and then going internationally, I think that's the plan.
Well, it's always beautiful to help children, so good job. Um, when we interviewed Yukai last week, she mentioned that she's going to Botswana and these other places to do her
Yeah.
work. Do you have an itinerary in mind of where you're planning to go in the world to help children?
Yeah, so I'm born in Malaysian, so I was born in Malaysia, and I have a little bit of an Indian background as well. So definitely the two countries that I think I would just want to go to. My heart is calling. Would be Malaysia and India for starters, and of course it's not just those countries, but starting off there, I think it will really hit home. So yeah, those are the two ones that I really want to go to first.
There are two great countries. Have you? Well, obviously you were born in Malaysia, but have you ever been to India?
Yeah, I have. I have been twice when I was very little, so was more absorbing on like the tourist side of things,
Okay.
not really the other side. So it'll be great for me to go there with a purpose now, and not just because my family's going.
By other side, you mean like the struggles of people who may
Yeah,
live there. All right, and that
yeah,
makes you feel like you want to go and help and make a difference, essentially.
yeah, exactly.
All right, that's a beautiful story, and we do hope that it happens for you soon.
Thank you.
But speaking of international trips, you will be going to Utah with Legacy International in July. How excited are you for this trip? Like, what are you expecting it to be
Um,
like? What do you?
yeah,
Yeah,
I sorry, I'm
yeah,
excited. Yeah, it's definitely like a huge jump. I literally had no idea. Like when we had the orientation and everything, we were told that the winners would get to go there, would get to go here. So I didn't really process it then till when I was crowned Miss Australia Legacy International. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go. So definitely like, it's overwhelming, but it's also really exciting. I'm also really nervous because of course it's like my first time traveling with a group of people to compete.
okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of preparation going in the lead up to that as well, which is really exciting. So I think overall, in the end, it's gonna the happiness, the joy is gonna overpower that sort of nervousness. So I'm excited to see what happens. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, I hope.
I'm sure it's going to be a great experience. Is this your first trip to the States?
No, actually, this is gonna be my third.
Third trip to the States. Okay,
Yeah,
so you do have some experience with being in that area. Does that
yeah.
provide you with some confidence?
Yeah, it has. I've traveled abroad like every year. So for me it's not super overwhelming traveling. I think it's more about the experience competing in a different state, in a different country. So like yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting.
All right. Um, this accomplishment, it's a big deal to um, put it succinctly, it's a very big deal. How do you imagine it'll shape your life further down the road? For example, what you may be doing in 10 years to help children, or 15 years even, however long this accomplishment can impact your life.
Yeah, I think once when you're for me personally, I think that being crowned something doesn't really define or doesn't really dictate what you should do with what you want to do in this world. So whether or not in the future, this crown is for 1 year, for from this year till next year around February. So I think you're not just subjected to doing everything within that year. I think you once when the crown is passed on, you continue to do what you're passionate about, and whether it is with the crown or without the crown, you still have that title as a queen. You are still a queen. You're still a part of this sisterhood. You're still about this community. You're still with this community of beautiful girls who are beautiful inside and out. So I think that from here on out, I think I'm just going to continue just doing the things that I want to do, impacting the world the way I want to impact it, bring change. And whether it is after this 1 year, I'm still going to go out there. I'm still gonna do things internationally, so nationally as well. So I feel like the crown is not does not determine your status and how much power you have to make the change. I think with or without it, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road, if there is still a gap in this passion of mine that hasn't been filled yet and hasn't been resolved yet, I will still advocate for it, and I'll still go out of my own way to still do the things that I think that needs to be done in order for equality to be achieved and poverty to not be something that prevents someone from receiving education.
That was a great answer. On behalf of Ozark Media, we are really glad to be working with you, Precilla.
Thank you.
All right. On a personal note, could you tell us a bit about yourself, like your background, your studying, what you might do for work, just so the audience can have a better idea of who Miss Legacy International Australia is?
Yeah, sure. So I did a couple of my studies. I did primary school, a little bit of primary school in Malaysia. So that was an interesting experience. And then shifting from Malaysia to Australia in about year two, I continued my primary schooling here, did my high school VCE in Melbourne, Victoria. So I did that, and now I'm in second year of university, studying nursing. I hope to continue that and also potentially do my master's as well, and we'll see what I'm passionate about after that, because I would love to be everything every day, not just one. I just can't settle for one job. I love like doing different things, helping different like industries. So for now, nursing, I don't know. There is business that may come up as well. Dentistry, don't know yet. I just love everything.
Jack of all trades we have here.
Yeah.
I also see that you're a very talented dancer. You posted a video to your social medias of you doing I'm going to say a little Indian dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, funny story. For preparation for this interview, I tried doing some of those moves and sprained my ankle. So, how long have you been dancing for?
Yeah, I love that question. I was a self-taught dancer till I was around year 8, when I was throughout throughout that those years, I was too afraid to ask my parents to send me to a dance studio. I was also quite like new in Australia, not super new by year 8, but definitely was afraid to really go out of that like school community, home community, and then church community and things like that. So for me, it was quite nerve-wracking to do something outside of like the norms. But in year 8, I was like, I really want to work on my dancing skills, and I was still proud of my capabilities at them, but I just wanted to advance a little further, and I knew that like going to a studio would help me. So I asked my parents very nervously, and then they said yes, because they saw my capabilities. They had a lot of influence in my life. They knew that I was capable of doing things, and for them to be able to support me like that was it was a dream come true. So they really supported me. They allowed me to go to studio. They had that confidence in me, and I started dancing from there, doing hip hop, contemporary, jazz, lyrical, and all those. And then towards the end of high school, I started developing more love for my own culture. So I started to do more Bollywood dancing, and just get into that more. So I continue to practice that. I love Bollywood movies, so I think that really helps. It gets me going. So I continue dancing, and then now I just want to continue, and don't really want to go to a dance studio anymore. I really would like to just showcase my own talent to the world via social media. So now it's not so much learning, it's more just sharing it with an audience. So that's basically the journey. I do it all the time. I do it outside my house. I do like a little dance inside my house. I do it everywhere. I would love to perform everywhere. So dancing has just a huge plays a huge role in my life. It definitely gives me so much happiness. So yeah.
That's lovely. To heal my fractured ego, did you ever injure yourself when you were self-teaching, or was it just me who injured himself?
Pardon?
To heal my fractured ego, did you ever injure yourself when you were teaching yourself to dance, or was that just me being a klutz?
No, I didn't really injure myself. I was really like, I took care of myself by warming up and cooling down, just because I knew my mom would tell me off and probably prevent me from dancing again in the house if I did injure myself. So yeah, but definitely a word of advice: warm up, cool down.
Thank you. So I'm the clumsy one. To conclude this interview, what message would you like to give to all viewers, or even fellow contestants in Legacy International, about your journey, about what it means to help people, like about what this experience has meant to you? What would you like to say?
Yeah, I would like to. The biggest message that I stand for, ever since I started my high school years developing my confidence, is the big title of confidence is key. Because in the end, if you don't have confidence in yourself, how are you meant to go out there and create change? So believing in yourself, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and being confident in who you are and what you stand for, and going out there with that confidence, you're really going to give a name for yourself. You're going to really showcase how passionate you are. You're going to showcase who you are, your identity, and the things you will do. So I think confidence is key. Hone in on your confidence. Know that without it, you might struggle in life. So just to know that, to have that confidence, to really go out there, be who you are, be you, be uniquely you, and do it with confidence. Believe in yourself. I know sometimes there are people that are going to tear you down, that might make you think otherwise. But again, really giving yourself that value, whether it's talking to yourself in the mirror, doing things that make you happy, like dancing, doing different things in your life to get that confidence. Once you get it, really use it, because you are who you are. You are the only person in this world that is you. So yeah, do it with confidence. Do whatever you want, whatever you will, with confidence.
Precilla, that was a beautiful message. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. On behalf of Ozarab Media, thank you to our viewers, and thank you to Miss Legacy Internet Precilla Kaur. I hope I'm saying that right.
Cool.
Precilla Kaur, for joining us today, and we sincerely look forward to all future collaborations with you, Precilla. So
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. See ya.
Thank you.